What's up, Calisthenicos? From the moment I started practicing calisthenics over 10 years ago, one of the things that stood out to me the most was the ability not just to train and stay healthy, but also to learn tricks and skills that were genuinely challenging. These tricks allowed me to showcase my strengths and abilities, but more importantly, they kept me motivated to keep progressing and mastering even more difficult moves. Thanks to this, my workouts became much more fun, varied and stimulating, constantly pushing me to surpass myself. Unfortunately, back then there wasn't much information available, so I had to teach myself. I experimented with different tricks I found in old street workout videos. During that process, I discovered that some movements that seemed simple were much harder than expected, while others that looked incredibly complex and impressive were surprisingly easy to pull off. That's why in this video I want to share a few tricks you can learn in a relatively short amount of time, even if you are a beginner. This way, right from the start of your calisthenics journey, you can practice interesting movements and build a smart repertoire that showcases your skills and progress, all while staying true to the calisthenics principles of strict form and proper technique. So take off your shirt, grab some chalk and let's do this. But before we jump in, remember that you can support me as a content creator by using my code JERAI on Prozis to get discounts on supplements, healthy food and workout gear. With my code, you'll get 10% off, gift rewards based on your order size, and points that you can redeem for even more gifts. Thank you so much for your support. There's no doubt that plunges are some of the most challenging elements in calisthenics. If a beginner set out to do a straddle or full plunge in a short time, it wouldn't be wrong to call them overly optimistic. But there's a variation with a small trick that makes it much easier while still being impressive. In the SoDo plunge, your body is positioned just like in a full or straddle plunge, but with one small variation. Your elbows are bent and, most importantly for us, they are pressed against your torso. This adjustment shifts the body weight away from relying solely on your shoulders, chest and triceps, transferring it instead to the surface where you are performing this exercise. As a result, performing the SoDo plunge correctly is more about finding the right positioning and balance than about raw strength. To execute it, I recommend starting by bending your arms and gradually positioning your torso so it rests against them, transferring all your weight. At first, it might take a bit of practice to find the right position, but once you do, you'll be able to perform it without a problem. The frog stand is quite similar, but instead of resting your torso on your elbows, you rest the inner side of your thighs on them. Again, it's simply a matter of experimenting until you find the right and comfortable position. Then, gently lean forward until you reach the balance point. Both the frog stand and the SoDo plunge require a little pushing strength, but nothing compared to more advanced tricks. As long as you can do a few full range push-ups, you'll be ready to try these moves. Handstands are another advanced skill not typically recommended for beginners, as they require significant pushing strength and lots of practice to master balance and technique. I've covered this movement in depth in the past. However, there's a variation I've analyzed recently that simplifies things significantly. It doesn't require much strength and balancing is much easier. By placing your head on the ground, you create a much more stable base, and with just a few minutes of practice, you'll be able to do it and even explore different movements and shapes. If you need a more detailed explanation, you can find one in a recent video I did. Advanced push-up variations, as the name suggests, aren't usually for beginners, but there's one that often sneaks into the advanced category even though it's not difficult at all. I'm talking about clap push-ups between the legs. If you time it right and use your leg properly for momentum, you'll have no trouble doing them, even if you are not that strong. The trick is to use your leg to help lift yourself, instead of trying to push yourself explosively with just your arms and then positioning your leg mid-air. If you coordinate the movement well, no one will notice the difference and you'll have a new trick in your repertoire. The pullover is a dynamic trick that requires just a bit of pulling strength, since you need to keep your arms bent. You can start practicing in low bars using your legs for momentum. Again, the key is to pull with your arms to keep them bent, preventing them from straightening and causing you to fall. As you get better, you can try it on higher bars until you can eventually do it more strictly without momentum. If you are looking for specific routines to work on the pullover, in Calisthenics app I have created 4 of them, catering to different levels to help you master it. Check it out. I hope these tricks inspire you to train, progress and enjoy a long and successful calisthenics journey, achieving all your goals. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, use the code Jerai on Process, follow me on Instagram @JeraiAlonso, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.